What's up, besties? Welcome into the Divine Feminist by Turning Tides Tarot. I'm going to start with the Tea Leaf Oracle, and I have to always shuffle it in sections because it is a massive deck. I think you're meant to use, it comes with a bag, you're meant to use this bag and like pick cards out of it, but I like to shuffle because they pop out so satisfyingly. So I'm going to go ahead and organize these and see what we are pulling on today for our reading, loves. It could be anything, right? Let's see. We have teardrops, great personal sorrow, vulture, geez, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Pig, beware of greed. Oh my gosh. All right. Looks like maybe a warning here. We have cane, pay attention to your health. Dog, protection from a powerful friend. And flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me tune in. Okay, love. So I tuned into it for a little bit, and it's interesting because it is serving a little bit of the energy carrying over from our last reading that was titled, like, why did this happen to me? I feel like it's another almost part of the story that's coming through today. Okay. And so the very first card out is the teardrops, right? And this is saying that we're looking at some heavy emotions that have already been spilled. Okay. So it's not just like one bad day. This really feels like grief and disappointment, and even betrayal that hit you pretty deep. So it's kind of like this moment where you were like, why me? Why did this have to play out like this, right? And then right on its heels is the vulture and the pig, right? And these two showing up together is very messy, right? Somebody in your energy's been greedy, they've been self-indulgent, they've been preying on your kindness. And it really looks like, it's the kind of person who kind of circles around you when you're vulnerable, all right, just waiting to take whatever they can. So this could be happening, or this could have happened recently in love or in friendship, even at work. And if it was at work, it's going to be that coworker who's only like checking in when they really want something, or again, a friend who always eats up your time and energy, but then is nowhere to be found when you actually need support. Okay. And then with Cain, I feel like this is, a warning, right? Don't ignore this situation. Spirit saying, like, you already know something isn't right here. So definitely pay attention before you fall even harder in this whole scenario. It is a reminder that we're not meant to carry other people's weight, especially when it's costing us our peace. And then moving into dog, and this is where the reading, it kind of shifts because it represents loyalty and protection. So, well, you do have someone shady, circling around you like a freaking vulture. You also have a real one in your corner. So this could be an actual friend, a family member, or even your spirit team. Okay, you're definitely not going through this alone. And finally, with flute, it does speak to disappointment in a friend or a lover. So, yeah, I mean, like, this story is lining up pretty clear. Someone you trusted has shown their true colors, okay? And Spirit's really saying here that there's still a loyal soul here who's ready to back you up, who's here to protect you, and here to help you see the truth, okay? So in this scenario today, we're really digging into the tears perhaps that you've shed over this person who's been selfish and greedy, maybe even manipulative, right? But spirit's waving a big red flag and asking you to notice it. So at the same time, you've also got a real ally, right, in your life right now, somebody who's really proving their loyalty. And that contrast is showing you exactly who deserves, a seat at your table and who doesn't. So my first clarifying question here is, like, what exactly is the warning Spirit wants you to pay attention to in this situation? What specifically is the warning that Spirit's asking you to pay attention to? Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. I'm just going to cover this up. We have the Magician, the Queen of Swords, and the Everything is Fine. What's at the bottom of the deck? The Hanged Man, or the Hanged One. Okay. Okay, so let's get into the warning that Spirit really wants you to pay attention to here. The very first card is the Page of Pentacles, and This is showing up when someone's making promises that they don't really have the ability or even the intention to follow through on. Okay. Um, think about the kind of person here who's talking like a really big game about wanting to build something stable or being there for you. But then, of course, they're all they're offering really is the bare minimum. Okay. So it's like someone saying, I'll take care of you one day. But right now, they can't even take care of themselves. Okay. This is what I'm picking up on. And next, with the magician, it really makes me want to wave a red flag because, yeah, I mean, the magician can be powerful, but paired with this page energy, it's giving manipulation. So someone might be using their charm, their words, or even spiritual language to make it seem like they've got more to offer than they actually do. Um, not good. So in your real life, this could be the friend who's constantly talking about those big projects that they're starting, but they never finish a single one of them. Or it's the lover who convinces you they're about to change, but 6 months later you're still dealing with the same exact issues. And then we have so it wants to move and it's driving me crazy. Look at every time I touch it, it moves. Anyways, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is next, and I feel like she's here to remind you that you already know better, right? This is really about trusting your intuition and cutting through any BS, not letting someone sweet talk you into ignoring the facts, right? Um, she's that part of you that really refuses to settle for words when actions are not lining up. And the everything is fine card. I love this one. And in this deck, it is like the Ten of Swords, but it's kind of wrapped in a little bit of denial. It's showing where the danger is, okay? And Spirit's basically saying, like, don't numb yourself out of the pain, like, just to keep the peace. So it's easy to say, oh, it's fine, I'll just deal with it, while someone else takes advantage. But the warning here is to not play dead in your own story, okay? And with the Hangman or the Hanged One under the deck, Spirit's asking you to pause, to shift your perspective here, and to stop sacrificing yourself for someone else's growth, okay? It's that energy of waiting around for someone to change while your own life is really being put on hold. So the warning to me here is crystal clear, like don't buy into empty promises. Don't let someone's, charm override your common sense, and definitely don't numb yourself just to avoid like rocking the boat. See this for what it is right now so that you don't waste any more of your own like precious time. Okay, this is what I'm pulling from all of this. And my next question is like, I want to know who the loyal figure, the dog, right? Who's the dog in your life? But in this case, a dog is very loyal, very great, very good support, protection, right? And who are they and how can you lean on them right now for support that you obviously need going through this situation, okay? So who is the dog in your life? Who's the loyal figure? And how can you lean on them right now? Oh, we have the Emperor. I like that. Okay, the Emperor. The King of Swords. Okay. Oh, we have the Eight of Cups. We have the Ten of Wands. And what's under the deck? Strength. I love it. Okay. Okay, so first off, this combo between the Emperor and the King of Swords is very strong, it's stable, and it is protective energy. It's masculine energy, but their gender does not have to align with, whatever. And we all hold masculine and feminine, but it's a very no-nonsense kind of a vibe here with these two. So it really looks like somebody who's either older or more experienced or really just has this energy of being grounded and dependable. Like they don't play games, okay? This is the type of person who will they show love, but it's not by like sugarcoating or making promises, but they do so by, giving real structure, real advice, really holding it down when things get messy. So think about that one friend or a family member here who doesn't let you wallow in self-pity, and instead they're like, okay, babe, what's the plan? You know, let's figure out what's next. What do we do here? You know, like let's put a plan in place so that we can get you out of this, right? Um, and that's what the Eight of Cups is talking about too. Like this person has gone through, maybe they've already walked away from something similar, or they're helping you find the strength to walk away yourself. Okay, it's giving this energy of been there, I've lived that, I've been there, done that, you know. And because of this, they're really able to guide you with a lot of honesty and clarity. Okay, so it could be a friend who, you know, left a toxic relationship, or a parent who had to start over late in life, or a mentor who's understands the weight of what you're going through right now. And with the 10 of Wands, you know, I really see that this person isn't afraid to shoulder some of the burden with you. Okay, they know you've been carrying too much, and their loyalty shows in really how they step in to lighten the load. Okay, maybe they're going to offer you like a safe place to vent, or they help out in practical ways. Okay, and you know what, they're just there to remind you that you don't have to do everything alone. So really, you've got a real one who's got your back here in this whole entire situation. And to see strength at the bottom of the deck, you know, this is Spirit's way of saying that this person is here to help you like get through that chaos. Okay, you know, and I feel like they're not helping you by fixing it all for you, right? They're helping by showing you that you're stronger than you think. Okay, so this person's loyalty is more about encouraging your inner resilience and helping you, you know, hold your head high and reminding you of your worth when you're tempted to perhaps settle for less. Okay, so who are they, right? They're the one, you know, they are the one that like really stands firm when everything else feels shaky. They're the one who tells you the truth even when it stings, right? But they do it out of love. Okay, and Spirit's saying right now you can really lean on them by letting them help you take some of the burden off of your shoulders, you know, to help lighten the load, trusting their perspective for sure. And but you can, you know, by remembering, I want to say, that you don't have to carry all of this on your own, right? You don't, because you've got someone, you've got a really good friend in your corner. Okay, you really do. And if you're out there and you're like, but Alicia, I don't really have anyone, you know, you got me. All right, and you got these readings, and you got our community, so you do have people. You're not alone. All right, I just wanted to say that. So what lesson here is Spirit asking you to learn through this disappointment in the love or the friendship that's happened here? What lesson here is Spirit asking you to learn through all of this disappointment? And like I said, this reading could be tied to our last one. Like, why did this all happen to me? It's giving a little bit of that same carryover story. Okay, we have the Empress. Nice. You know, I love to see the Empress come through on our Divine Feminist channel. Okay, we have the Hermit. Seven of Cups. Three of Wands. And I'm going to take what's under the deck here. It's the Three of Cups. All right. I know it's a little bit messy today, but that's how it is. All right, let me tune in. Okay, so we're going to talk about the lessons in all of this. And of course, first out, the Empress, you know, and of course, you know, she's all about knowing your worth and nurturing yourself and really remembering that, again, you are the prize, okay? This lesson is really about you realizing that you don't have to overgive or mother someone who refuses to grow up, okay? Spirit's saying, like, your love is abundant, but not everyone deserves access to it, okay? Not everyone does. And then we have the Hermit. And, you know, I feel like Spirit's really pulling you back into yourself for a minute right now. And the lesson here is that sometimes isolation is protection, right? This card really shows that even if you feel like you've been let down or left behind, Spirit's actually creating space for you to hear your own wisdom. It's like being pulled out of the noise so that you can remember, wait a second, I actually know what's best for me. I know what's best for me, okay? And the Seven of Cups, you know, it is teaching you discernment, okay? Not every option, not every friend, not every lover, you know, that comes your way is really meant to be chosen, okay? This disappointment is Spirit's way of saying, like, don't fall for the fantasy, the illusion, or the empty promises, right? In real life terms, it's like, I feel like it means really learning to spot the difference between someone who's interested in the idea of you versus someone who's like actually ready to show up for the real you. And with the Three of Wands, it's like, I feel like the lesson here is really also about expanding your vision and looking forward and not back. Spirit really wants you to stop expecting your ships to come in from people who've already proven that they can't deliver. Okay. It's really about saying, all right, that didn't work, but I trust what's on the horizon that's going to match my energy a lot better, right? And it's out there. You can see it, you can feel it, right? As long as we're just moving forward, looking ahead. And then, of course, with the Three of Cups under the deck, I feel like Spirit's reminding you that, joy, support, and true connection are really, they are still out here for you. And so the lesson is to really stop pouring into people who drain you and really start surrounding yourself with those who actually celebrate you, right? Sometimes disappointment is clearing up space, right, for better friendships and healthier connections and community that really lifts you up instead of weighing you down, right? So the lesson here, I mean, it feels like to value yourself like the Empress you are, to use your inner wisdom like the Hermit, to choose wisely, right? With the Seven of Cups, to keep your eyes on the future and really remember there is joy and celebration waiting with the Three of Cups, okay? So, you know, it's kind of, I do feel like it's giving a little bit of a recap of our last reading, but it's okay. We're here for the message, and if you need, just to hear it again, that's totally fine. Let me know in the comments if you did need to hear it again, or it's okay for you to hear something similar a couple readings in a row. I don't control what comes out in the messages, so if you're still here for it today, please give your girl a like so I can tell, or leave a comment if you feel like it. But our final question today for this reading is, what's the outcome if you cut ties with the greedy vulture energy person and really choose yourself instead? Look at that. Four of Wands. Nice. Thank you, Spirit. Eight of Wands. Even better. This is nice. Okay, and the King of Pentacles. We have the Hierophant. Nice. And what's at the bottom of the deck? King of Wands. Okay, I'm into this energy, I'll tell you that much. Like I said, I'm really here for this energy, like what's going to happen, of course, if you cut out the greedy vultures in your life. Because look, the Four of Wands is all about stability and celebration and, a feeling of home and just like a happy home life, joy in your life. It's very beautiful. Spirit's saying the moment you let go, of what really doesn't support you, you are creating space for relationships that do. Okay. And it looks like building a foundation where you feel safe, where you feel seen, and whether, that is in love, friendships, communities, that actually value you. It's really the difference between walking into a room where you're tolerated and then walking into a room where you're celebrated, And I feel like this is what you deserve. Of course, we all do. And with the Eight of Wands, it shows fast movement. Okay, so once you let go of any dead weight, things are going to move more quickly for you. There's going to be opportunities and messages and momentum. They will start flowing in ways that might even surprise you. Okay, flowing towards you, I should say, in ways that will surprise you. It's like Spirit's been holding the door shut until you're ready to release the wrong energy. And once you do, everything comes rushing through all at once, And so with the King of Pentacles, this is solid long-term energy, whether it's financial stability or a committed partner, or, it could be stepping into your own sense of security as well. The outcome here, right, is that you're standing on steady ground. You're not questioning if the rug is going to be pulled out from under you. If this is love, it's someone who's serious and reliable. If it's in your career, it's you leveling up and really claiming your power, okay? And with the Hierophant, a Spirit's showing a path of alignment, integrity, and even divine support, okay? So this is about committing to your higher values and not wavering. Some of you, might find yourself, drawing closer to a certain spiritual practice, or maybe even meeting people who share your core beliefs and really creating a sense of belonging with this new community, with your new tribe, okay? And under the deck with the King of Wands, this is all about stepping into confidence and vision, all right? This is you choosing yourself and claiming your power and moving forward in your life, but with passion and fire, okay? It's really beautiful. I really love it so much. And I just feel like Spirit saying the moment you really stop playing small for people who don't deserve you, your whole energy just becomes irresistibly magnetic, okay, to people and opportunities, and just you're drawing in the right kind of people for you. Again, the ones that really are here to support you. So it's really all about just dropping the dead weight, okay? And so, yeah, the outcome is that you are going to be creating stability and speeding up your blessings and, attracting real love and money and aligning with your true path and stepping into your own confidence like never before. Okay, so basically, Spirit's saying the glow up is guaranteed, but you've got to let that old energy go. Okay, you just got to drop it. But I feel like I'm telling you something that you already know. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. Okay, especially since we've already done so many readings like this, but it just keeps coming up because that's what we're here to do. If you need the daily encouragement or the almost daily encouragement, this is why we're here, friends, to keep you focused on your road ahead. And maybe, well, our next reading is going to be Soulful Sunday. And then, of course, Monday comes around and we look at the week ahead. So there's going to be a new infusion of energy in our next reading. So I hope that you are here for it. If you're new, please don't be shy. You can subscribe. Come along with us on our journey as we continue encouraging the glow up for our divine feminists out here. Y'all are the best. Thank you for being here. And I want to send you all the brightest blessings in the world. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.